Hi, everybody. It's Kim from Expressions of the Universe with your weekly wisdom for May 31st through June 6th. And I have your stars and cards. I'm pulling cards for every sign for the full moon in Sagittarius with the lunar eclipse. If you haven't seen your June tarot scopes yet, please go and check them out because I did every astrological sign specifically for the full and new moon with the lunar and solar eclipses and the Mercury retrograde in June. June is going to be crazy, as if the world isn't crazy already. The energy is really heavy, and I'm not getting philosophical or anything, because with everything that's going on in the world, especially in the United States at this time, I don't know what my friends are really going through, but I want to be there to help them. I don't know. I'm at a point I don't know. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull cards for every sign, and then I want to talk about the full moon with the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, and pull cards for the week. So there's a lot of different things. I hope you stick around throughout the entire video so that you could see that. And let's get started. So while I was pre-shuffling some of these cards, a couple cards fell out of the decks that I want to use, and I'm pulling several cards for each sign. It's interesting matching up with the astrology of this full moon in Sagittarius, because it is a south node full moon, which means we're letting go and changing things of the past. I'm going to talk about that, but it's in the second house. Sagittarius will be in the second house at 15 degrees. So what you need to do is, if you know how to look up your chart, you can go to astro.com and you can plug in your birth data, get that information, and see where Sagittarius is in your personal birth chart, because that's where you will personally be affected by this full moon and the lunar eclipse. What was I going to say? Where you need to make the changes and let go of things. But as a collective, it will be in the second house. And so it's interesting, the Taurus card fell out because that is the second house. And we're going to talk about our values and how our values have to change, all right, as a collective. Then when I was shuffling the animal totem cards, giraffe totem came out, which is talking about seeing the bigger picture, seeing a different perspective. So that goes great. And skunk totem also fell out of the deck, which is about knowing your self-worth and having that self-esteem within yourself, knowing what you're worth. And so interesting that those were the cards, because it's kind of part of the theme. So let me just real quick pick the cards for the week that I post on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Facebook and Instagram, and just see what that energy is going to be like. All right. I'm doing it on the fly. I should probably pan down so that you could see these cards. And we're going to take this card, which is Star Ancestor. And I love that. It says, follow the voice of your soul. All right, so that card will come in on Monday, And this is about following your personal truth and following your inner voice, your intuition. We'll take this card. Oh, it's Arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. And I think we all need that at this time. This card I will channel on Wednesday. They're pretty self-explanatory. And, we'll just do this one. It's Warrior. Be fearless and stand strong. And I'll channel that on Friday. That card came up before. And I don't know why. I just feel like one more. I think I'll just do this as a bonus. It's Shapeshifter, and it says transform and unveil your gifts. So I don't know how I'm going to, where I'll fit that in, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sorry for the hand. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'll channel those deeper messages, mix that with the astrology, post those on Facebook and Instagram at Expressions of the Universe. I have cards, and I have shuffled these. I want to pull zodiac cards, and I want to pull animal totem cards for each sign for the full moon with the lunar eclipse. But so that you understand what this is. So this full moons are about releasing things that no longer serve. The lunar eclipse is a south node lunar eclipse. So south node are things from the past. So we're releasing things of the past that no longer serve, that we need to change. So I look at what sign is it in. Sagittarius, 15 degrees. Also, you want to look in your own personal chart for anything that's conjuncting or near 15 degrees. And of course, you want to look and see where your Sagittarius is in your chart. That will tell you what house is being affected. So when I look at south node tendencies of Sagittarius that need to be left behind. Now remember, our north node is currently, and I want to, oh shit, sorry, now I'm dropping things. Dropping the Aries animal tone card, which I don't know what it is. I shuffled, and I haven't looked at them. North node is in Gemini. That is about our healthy curiosity, asking questions to learn how others think, seeing both sides of a situation, tact, logic, communication of internal dichotomies within ourselves, positive approach to life and other people, purposely cheering up others, using a non-threatening approach when expressing ideas, listening, openness to new ideas and experiences, seeking factual information before making decisions. And it really is about the truth. What are we leaving behind? Self-righteousness, aloofness, assuming others know where they are at, thinking one knows what others are saying without really listening, needing to be right, espousing truth without taking others' views into account, careless spontaneity, taking shortcuts, taking oneself too seriously, having a ponderous approach to life, acting on intuition without checking facts, resisting ideas that are foreign to one's belief system, prejudging present situations on the basis of past experiences. So those are all the things, all the themes that we're leaving behind. And if you're interested, I love Jan Spiller Astrology. This is Jan Spiller Astrology for the Soul. So that's that theme. And then I have another Jan Spiller. This is Jan Spiller's Spiritual Astrology. I have a couple of pages bookmarked. So when she talks about the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, she says, our mission is that we've come into this life to break all prejudices and learn to understand the common thread that runs through all forms of philosophy, religion, and spirituality. We have an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, higher insights, and information regarding conscious awareness. That energy will be running for 18 months. And also she says that we have to unlearn the prejudices that we've absorbed in a previous life or even in our childhood or young life here. In the past, our perceptions were limited and narrow-minded. Your ideas were based only on the information in our immediate environment, and now things have expanded. So you get the general idea with that. And then with this being in the second house, lunar eclipse in the second house says there is some basic flaws in our internal value system that has come to a point that it needs to be restructured. So everything that is going on in the world between the global pandemic and the riots in the United States, there are flaws within our system that are causing these issues, and they need to be restructured. This full moon in Sagittarius with the lunar eclipse is going to activate that. It's like missing a brick. It's like missing a missing brick that needs to be filled in so that at some stressful time in our lives, our internal structure doesn't topple over. This is all that second house. It's about our values. It's about the things that we care about, which definitely correlates to material and immaterial things and our money. Also real estate. It asks us to figure out what we're looking for, that missing brick in the basic foundations of our lives and also in world structures. What are your values? This is what you're going to ask yourself. Studying the sign of your own lunar eclipse will help you when you have found and fixed this missing link. You will also be restored to balance and harmony within your own being. So interestingly, my south node is in Sagittarius because my north node is in Gemini. So those themes are going to play a huge part. And in the coming weeks, I'll get into the two other eclipses that are coming, because they're also activating different other parts within ourselves to make this whole. And I know I had a lot more to say about all of that. I just kind of want to get to the cards because, I live right outside of Philadelphia. I have family members that are Philadelphia police officers, and as I'm recording this, Philadelphia is burning. What started out as a very peaceful protest, people from outside of the city came in and started destroying the city and ruined what was a beautiful tribute to George Floyd. And it's really gotten very ugly. You've seen it, I'm sure, all over the United States. And so it's been a harrowing day here, just because I have family members involved down there trying to stay safe. And that's all. Everybody, if we could all just open up our hearts and pray for everybody, for each other in the world. And don't try and understand each other. You can't understand what any one person is going through. And so, the posts on social media, I know a lot of people really mean well, A lot of people don't mean well, but even like if you're not part of that community, you can't understand how so many people are feeling right now and the pain that they're going through and the injustice that has been going on for hundreds of years. And that within itself, I think, is part of what this whole change is. So I look at that and I say, yes, this has to happen because that's all part of what's going on in the astrology, and it's needed. So off the soapbox, let's get started. I'm going to pull an animal totem and an astrology card for every sign. So Aries. Oh, sorry, you know what? I'm going to reshuffle the animal totem cards because I just put the skunk and the giraffe on top, and that doesn't work. I'm going to cut these. Where did that Taurus card go? Yep, right on top. Okay. Let's just give it a little shuffle. Whew. All right. I feel like this weekly wisdom is a little heavy. We're in somber situations. Okay. Aries. We have wasp spirit. And it's saying sometimes life stings. So, with going with the full moon and this lunar eclipse, I want you to focus on not only your values, but think about those parts of your life that do sting and you want to get rid of them. So we're talking about what are the things in our lives that have got to go, and you want to bring in that sweetness. And it's definitely correlated to Saturn, things that have been restricting you, holding you back. The part of you that is willing to accept these challenges, you have to let that part of you step forward, Aries, and take on these challenges. I also want to point out too, there's going to be a lot of volatility, a lot of fire for the entire month of June. So it doesn't surprise me that a fire sign would get difficult cards. We just have to hold on to our hats. I said last week was the calm before the storm. The storm is coming. Storm is here. Taurus. You received rabbit spirit, and it says now is a lucky time. And I love that. And the Aries are probably thinking, what the hell? Why did Taurus get the good card? Now is a lucky time. So this is saying for this full moon that you really need to count your blessings and figure out where it is that you are lucky. Places where you're unlucky are probably realized, and you need to let go of those. Okay, and the 5th house, this is where you would need to be making some changes. And it says where you have fun, romance, create things, and that you're proud of. But so this would be definitely, I'm hearing ego energy has to be let go of, and you need to incorporate these qualities more, which would be, being creative and romantic and having a little more fun and enjoying your life. Anything other than these higher vibrations have got to be let go of. Gemini, Rhino spirit is saying overcome any obstacle. So for Geminis, you want to just bust through with that horn any obstacle that is in your way, and even give yourself affirmations of saying like, about how great you are. You know, like, I am powerful, I am strong, I can accomplish this. And I love it. Venus is in the forefront. So Venus is retrograde in Gemini. And this is the part of you that desires beauty, success, indulgence, and valuables. Venus rules Taurus and that second house. And so anything that isn't beautiful and wonderful in your life, oh, excuse me, just threw that card right on the floor. You want to really focus on your values, and totally makes sense because North Node's in Gemini. This is a South Node full moon, so that's your opposite, and you really have to only allow things that you value into your life, and it's the intangible things. Speaking of Venus and Gemini, so I don't know, you probably can't see it. Nope, it's not going to show up, but a window shut on my finger, and my finger is like extremely bruised. It's not showing up in, well, you can probably see the color difference of my two fingers. But what's interesting, my Venus is at 27 degrees Gemini, which is the fingers and the phalanges. So I'm like, oh my goodness. I've been really delving into medical astrology a lot lately. So anyway, get with your values, Geminis. Bust through those obstacles. Cancer. It's saying, let your light shine. So Cancers are really stepping up to the forefront. Things are coming full circle for the Cancers. You're going to be peacocking all over the place once we get out of quarantine. And what are you letting go of? Third house. Issues with communications. Issues with your neighbors. Issues with expanding your knowledge. That's what you're working on. Third house issues would be for the Cancers. Leo. Snake spirit. It's a time to heal for you. There's a lot of things that you're putting into the past. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Leo is a fire sign. You need to take this time to heal and let all of those things go from the past that are no longer serving you. And it's directly correlated to your opposite, which is Aquarius. This is thinking outside of the box, not judging humanity. This is also allowing yourself and others the freedom to do the same. And so yeah, that's what you're going to let go of. So that was Leo. So we have Virgo, Swan spirit, time for a deep dive. So Virgos, you're going to dive down deep into your emotions, and you're going to figure out what is no longer serving you. Clear out that internal clutter and closet, and it will be related to Neptune, which is the emotions. So totally made sense what I just said, but it's also letting go of your fantasies that are not going to come true, or any kind of potential for illusions. Also, any addictions or obsessions, you really need to let go of those things during this full moon. And I'm not saying, let go of your dreams, but some fantasies are just a little unreal. We have a lot of Neptunian energy this coming month too, which you may be extremely vulnerable to. So it's about staying grounded in that Virgo energy, not allowing your emotions to get carried away, that you would seek addiction or overindulgence in something as a form of escapism. So Libra, you get the mouse spirit, and this is about paying attention to the tiny details in your life, cleaning up things that are scattered all over the place. You got to tend to a lot of little different loose ends and clean it up, really. And for you, it's about getting back to work. We have the Capricorn card that is coming through, and it's the energy that around you that is materialistic and workaholic. That's got to go. That's what you're getting rid of. And also trying to let go of your shrewdness and your callousness and possible overly cautious ambition. Scorpios, we have chameleon spirit, and it's telling you to act as if. So for Scorpios, fake it till you make it. This is about just holding yourself together during these trying times and you're trying on different faces, trying on different masks, seeing what truly feels authentic to you. And when you find the right one, it will fit perfectly and you'll just feel comfortable. And I'm not saying a fake mask. You're looking for that authenticity. Fake it until you make it. And we have moon energy coming through for the Scorpios. And I think that's really, really perfect, because there will be a close aspect of this full moon to you, to your sun sign, rising sign, or your moon. This is the subconscious, the different emotions and responses that maybe if you've been overly emotional, those are the things that you need to work on and clear for this full moon. This is also allowing the light to shine in the places so that it can illuminate your way and you can see that bigger perspective. Sagittarians, it's parrot spirit. Interesting. This is saying watch your words. So if you are a Sagittarius, this full moon with the lunar eclipse is really going to hit. Which brings up a really good point, because this energy for the month of June, a lot of people's feelings are going to get hurt through words. So kind of makes sense that it could be delivered by a Sagittarian sun sign, rising sign, or moon, meaning well, but the other person won't hear you properly, and people are taking things personally. So just be careful. And then we have Vesta, and that is the home and the nest. She is the goddess of home and hearth. And so what I'm going to say, Sagittarius, is fix your problems in the home with what's in the home. It could be your family living in the home. Clean up the clutter, clean up the mess, clean up any disparity that is coming up in the home. Let me just see what that says. Also, tap into the goddess within, your sacred spiritual center, and sit in quiet dignity. Capricorn, Capricorn. So you saw me shuffle the cards. This is saying know your worth. Do not settle, Capricorn. Anything that isn't serving you here has got to go. You have to know your worth and don't settle. Don't let anybody take advantage of you in any way that isn't for your best interest, that undermines you. And interesting, can't make this up, the first house. So there are things and aspects about yourself, your self-esteem, the way you value yourself, or I should say don't, that have got to go, that have to change. And it's the first impression that you make when, with other people when they see you. So there's something about you or within you that you just need to shift a little bit. And what's interesting, I want to say that card came up in the June tarot scope. I don't know. Aquarius. We have Beaver Spirit, and it's asking you to lay a solid foundation. So this goes back to that second house of values and, that solid grounding. Aquarius, it's time for you to possibly even purchase a home after this eclipse season, or really start thinking about this, setting your plans in place, getting things set up. And we have the 8th house, which is about real estate, other people's money, changes, transformations, births, rebirth. What has to change? I would say, well, first of all, it's the transformational house. And the area in your life about shared resources and intense emotion. So the money that you're sharing with other people, the emotions that you're putting around that, maybe there's an obsession, Aquarians, about joint bank accounts, or, it's shared resources. Could even be around the home. There's got to be some changes that need to be made there. And then last but not least, Pisces, we have Hawk Spirit. This is definitely also about rising above, seeing a bigger perspective, seeing the bigger picture. And it says, let spirit be your guide. So you're following your intuition. And what needs to be let go of or changed. The 6th house is coming up. And I think this came up for Pisces before also. Want you to pay attention to your health, your daily lifestyle, the way that you're, the amount of exercise you're getting, the food that you're eating. Are you sleeping enough? Are you drinking enough water? There's got to be some changes that you've got to make, Pisces. It's time to get healthy. Chop, chop. And even if you are a healthy Pisces, maybe you've been too restrictive and you're not getting enough nutrients. So there's changes around that need to change. I guess that's all I have. It's really not the video that I was expecting this morning when I was mentally preparing myself. Oh, and I have one other thing that I wanted to say that I wrote down. I was watching a program last night, and they were talking about, it was actually Skinwalker Ranch on the History Channel. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that, but it's just, strange. It was the first time I've seen the show, and one of their cattle had died. And there was no apparent traumas or anything like that. And the veterinarian that did the autopsy said that the cow was stressed and it died from pneumonia. And they said, we just saw the cow 10 minutes prior. She's only 2 years old. She's totally healthy. Nothing wrong with her. My point is, the veterinarian said that any living being, when stressed, your immune system is greatly reduced. The more stress, the faster the reduction of the immune system, and you will get sick. So fear, worry, stress reduces your immune system. You got to keep your vibration high. And even if you are worried about things, you're going to have to try to change that part of your life that sits in constant fear, sits in constant worry, or stressed about things that are going on in the outside world that you have no control over, because you'll get sick. But they said that it could have been a matter of hours that the cow went from being completely healthy to fluid in the lungs, pneumonia, and it passed away. because of, you know, the stress levels. It just happened very quickly. And I got up out of bed and I wrote that down, came out to the kitchen and I wrote that down because I said, oh my gosh, that's so true, because fear reduces our immune system, stress, anger, resentment, grief, all of that reduces our immune system. And then it allows us to contract different diseases, COVID-19, whatever, the common cold, the flu, whatever is going on. Also, make sure you take vitamin D3, vitamin C, and zinc to keep your immune system built up. And of course, eat healthy things that include those vitamins. Get out into the sunshine and the fresh air for the D3. And that's all I have to say. So now, until next time, I hope you like this video. If so, please share it with your friends. You know, subscribe to my channel. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, and my website at expressionsoftheuniverse.com. Happy full moon blessings. Let that shit go. Just let all the crap in your life, just let it go. Just let it go.